Bernal's expected medical clearance after the international break feels less like a sudden headline and more like the final page of a long, carefully written chapter. A chapter where patience, science, and the slow rebuilding of physical confidence have mattered more than quick applause. The Masia graduate who once glided through training sessions with a natural blend of composure and invention suffered a brutal halt when a torn ACL with meniscus involvement in his left knee on August the 27th forced him off the pitch and into months of rehabilitation. What followed was familiar to anyone who has watched modern football's treatment of long-term injuries. Structured physio, painstaking gym work, measured on-pitch reintroductions, and constant monitoring from a medical team determined that one brilliant moment not be followed by a lifetime of what-ifs. Over recent weeks, Bernal has been training with the first team, matching teammates in many drills and showing the kind of progress that excites coaches and fans alike. But excitement at Camp Nou has always been tempered by a club-wide emphasis on caution. Barcelona's physicians and coaching staff have repeatedly opted to prioritise longevity over a hasty return, a stance they adopted with other young players coming back from serious knocks. And that conservative approach is why the whispers now point to medical clearance only after the international break, rather than before it. If that plan holds, the timing is sharp. Barcelona's first home match of the season, the weekend clash with Valencia on September the 13th and 14th, would offer a measured, high-profile stage for Bernal's reintegration. It is not merely about seeing him back in the blue and garnet jersey. It is about reintroducing a player into competitive minutes when both his knee and his confidence are ready, and when the coaching staff can control the environment around his minutes and recovery. For the coaching team, Bernal's return presents a tactical question as much as an emotional one. His natural role, a midfield presence comfortable in possession, able to drive forward and thread clever passes, gives Barca another option in the middle of the park at a moment when squad rotation will be essential. But minutes will need shepherding. The medical green light is not an invitation to overload a fragile athlete, but a starting point for a staged comeback, one that will likely involve substitute appearances, managed training loads, and close monitoring during and after matches. Fans will understandably imagine an instant storybook ending, a La Masia prodigy stepping onto Camp Nou to thunderous applause. But the real, sustainable success will be measured across weeks and months, in which Bernal's fitness steadily builds, and he adds minutes without regression. The narrative also carries a human weight. A young player who lost a pivotal year to injury, who watched teammates leap forward while he hunted technique and strength in the gym. Now standing at the threshold of a return that vindicates his labour. For La Masia and for Barcelona's reputation as a maker of talent, a cautious, successful reintegration would be proof that the academy's pathway is managed with both ambition and care. At the club level, his availability for the Valencia weekend gives the coaching staff an extra variable, a youthful spark who could shift a game's tempo, offer fresh passing angles, and relieve the workload of more experienced midfielders. But it also forces choices about minutes and match plans. Above all, Bernal's story is a reminder that modern football is as much about medical skill and load management as it is about tactics and talent. The green light is earned, not given. And when it arrives after the international break, it will signal months of meticulous work by player and staff alike. Whether he steps onto Camp Nou to a roar or first returns in smaller bursts off the bench, the moment will test Bernal's fitness, Barcelona's judgment, and a fan base's patience. And if it goes well, it will become an encouraging early chapter in Barca's season and a quiet victory for prudent player-first management.